Welcome to METAFAZ-Z, where stories come alive. Here we share powerful, real-life journeys from the streets to the stage. Learn English the emotional way through inspiring true stories. Every video teaches you not just language, but life lessons that stay with you. Let's grow together, one story at a time. This is the story of a girl from the markets of Tehran, living in poverty, fighting against rules, fear, and control, but with a voice that couldn't be silenced. From street singing under pressure to standing on the biggest stages in the world. This is more than just music. It's a story of freedom, courage, and hope.
My name is Shireen. I was born in Tehran, in a poor family with many problems. We didn't have much. My father died when I was young. My mother worked all day just to pay rent and buy bread. To help her, I sold things in the streets and markets of Tehran. Sometimes I sold socks, sometimes candy, sometimes small handmade jewelry. But there was one thing I loved more than anything else: singing. Whenever I sang, I felt alive. My voice was my freedom. I didn't have money, I didn't have power, but I had a voice that made people stop and listen. People would walk past, then turn back. They would smile. Some would cry. "Your voice is special," they told me. I didn't have a mic or speakers. I just stood in a corner and sang from my heart. But not everyone liked it. Sometimes the police or religious guards came. They said, "You can't sing in public." They pushed me, shouted at me, took my things. A few times, they arrested me. Once, they broke my speaker. Another time, they took my jewelry and threw it away. They called me immoral. They said I was a problem. But I kept singing. I had nothing else. One day, I was singing in the Grand Bazaar of Tehran. It was crowded. I stood near a fruit stall and sang an old Persian song. Someone was recording me, but I didn't notice. The next day, my life changed. That video went viral. First on Instagram, then TikTok, then news websites. People around the world saw me, a girl with a scarf on her head, standing in the street singing with fire in her voice. They called me the voice of the bazaar. Some people were angry, but most were inspired. But that same week, the authorities came again. They were more serious this time. They said I was spreading corruption. They took my things. They tried to take me too. I ran. I called a friend, a kind man from Kurdistan. He lived in Tehran, but had connections in Erbil, in Iraqi Kurdistan. He said, "You must leave now." With his help, I crossed the border. When I arrived in Erbil, I felt scared, alone, confused, but something felt different. No one shouted at me. No one judged me for my voice or my hair. People welcomed me. For the first time, I took off my hijab, not because I hated it, but because I wanted to choose, and people respected that. I found a small job in a cafe. I cleaned tables, served tea. At night, I helped in the kitchen. The manager was a kind woman. She heard me humming while working. She asked, "Do you sing?" I said yes, shyly. She smiled and said, "Sing for me tonight." So that night, after closing time, I sang in the empty cafe. One of the waiters recorded it and shared it online. Again, people listened. Again, people loved it. Soon I was invited to sing on weekends. People came not just for food, but to hear me. I began learning more: how to breathe, how to control my voice, how to stand on stage. I watched YouTube videos practiced every night. The people of Erbil supported me. They clapped, cheered, and told others about the girl from Tehran with a voice full of pain. And I sang with pain. I sang about my father, about the streets of Tehran, about the fear, the loss, the hope, and people felt it. One day, a woman came to me after the show. She was from a Kurdish organization that helped young artists. She said, "We want to help you go to America. You deserve the world to hear your voice." I cried. She wasn't joking. The group helped me get a passport, visa, even a small scholarship. They found a music program in Los Angeles. After months of preparation, I flew again. From Tehran's dusty streets, to Erbil's warm cafes, to the lights of Los Angeles. It was a long, hard road. I missed my mother, I missed my city, but I had a dream, and that dream was bigger than fear. I trained for 6 months. English was hard, music theory was harder, but singing was still my home. I wrote my first original song. It was about my journey, from the pain of silence to the power of sound. I called it Free to Sing. Finally, I was invited to sing at a concert in New York City. When I stood backstage, my hands were shaking. I looked at the crowd. I saw people from everywhere: Iran, Iraq, the US, women with scarves, men with tattoos, old, young. I took a deep breath. Then I stepped into the light. I told myself, this is for the girl who sang in the streets. This is for the girl who ran from fear. This is for every voice that was ever silenced. And I sang. I sang from my soul, and when I finished, the crowd stood. Some clapped, some cried, and in that moment, I wasn't just a singer, I was Shereen, a girl from Iran who never stopped singing. This is my story. From the streets of Tehran to the lights of New York. I sang through fear, through silence, through cages, but my voice, it never broke. And now I stand here, free, strong, alive. This is not just my song, it's every woman's song who refused to be silenced. Now, listen to the anthem of our fight, rise of her voice.
I sang in the market, they tore me down with broken dreams in a silenced town. But my voice kept rising through the fear, even when no one wanted to hear. They took my hope, they took my stand. Still I sang with trembling hands. A whisper turned into a flame, and the whole world knew my name. From the shadows I found the light, singing louder through every fight. Tears turned to rivers, pain to power. Now I rise, this is my hour. From the shattered years I found the light, singing louder through every fight. Tears turned to rivers, pain to power. Now I rise, this is my hour. From the empty space, no more hiding, no more shame. Took off the scarf from my face and sang with pride, not fear or blame. Now I fly beyond the skies on the wings of my own cries. From cafe corners to neon lights, to the grand stage I own the night. From the silence I played my song, a place where broken hearts belong. You tried to stop me, but I came alive. I'm here, I'm burning, I will survive. From the shed, yes, only hear me now. From Tehran stars to a world that's loud. In Bible they gave me space, no more hiding, no more song of every girl who's freedom bound. They silenced me once, but now the world listens. But the world listens.